Tell me who's that right? John the Revelator, who's that right? John the Revelator, who's that right? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals.
The tradition of Kilkenny Tipperary is there.
When Tipperary and Kilkenny meet, form goes out the window.
I love playing, I love being involved, I love training, I love being in with the lads.
It certainly gives you a great buzz, to say you've achieved one of your dreams.
For me, the hunger is when you win, you just want to do it again.
I think when you love something you do, you want to do it for as long as you can.
You have to have pride in that jersey and I suppose give it the respect that it deserves.
Tipperary came and just hopped off us from the word go, and we were just ready for it.
Strange thing, I suppose, about Kilkenny-Tipperary rivalry is, when I was growing up, there was a serious Kilkenny-Tipperary rivalry, and Kilkenny certainly never came out on the right side of it. For the first time, I think, in 1967, when Kilkenny beat Tipperary, but it's the only time I can remember it happening, really. And then, during my own playing career, I never had the privilege of playing against Tipperary in Championship.
It had been so long since we got into final. 2001 had been the last time, and for you and me, that was a 7-year gap, an 8-year gap, watching everybody else get to finals and feel, God, we should be there ourselves.
We would have all went to college with Tipperary lads, and we would have heard the great stories of who was better, Kilkenny or Tipperary, and I think the real tradition of it came into it in that sense. I would have been very nervous before the match. I wouldn't normally be as nervous, but for this one I can remember being especially nervous in the week leading up to the match.
The opening 10-15 minutes, I suppose we would have thought that was the most important thing to stay in the game. I think Waterford and Limerick should have played Kilkenny in the years previous. It was over after 20 minutes because Kilkenny's game was get a few goals, blow the opposition away, and then we'll make the rest of the game easy for ourselves.
It's the 121st All-Ireland Hurling Final, and this is the 125th year of the GAA. Kilkenny, as you know, going for that 4 in a row.
The All-Ireland itself, I know we were going very well at the time, and we were going for 4 in a row, and Tipperary were kind of coming out of the unknown.
If I remember anything from that 2009 final, it was definitely that it went so fast, and it was nearly the match was over before you realised that the game was on. So I think that 2009 final, especially the first few minutes, just went by in a blur.
To think that went on for 70 minutes, it was just a huge intensity, but lucky enough we were ready for it, as were Tipperary, and it was all the way till the end. There was no way that any team was going to back off from each other. I remember after 14 minutes looking up at the clock, and I couldn't catch my breath, thinking I may actually want to make sure the 70 minutes it was that tough.
Both sets of backs let each set of forwards know that it was going to be a serious game. So I think the backs were totally on top, and it was very tense and tough, and I suppose it was what everyone for the outside world looking in at hurling would love it to be, and that's what it was,
Getting it in now as far as Owen Kelly. After him is Jackie Tyrrell. Has the composure, has the accuracy, has that skill to put it over the bar. Lahr chasing after this one, taking it down that wing. They're all after him. Richie Power's after him. Can't get to him. Lahr strikes, and Lahr hits an absolute beauty. Out there as far as Owen Kelly under pressure. What a shot. What a point!
Tipperary probably got the better scores. Larry Corbett had got some brilliant scores. Owen Kelly got some brilliant scores. So, and to be fair, because they were underdogs, the support levels were absolutely magnificent. But we, to be fair, I think what we did that day was we tipped along, we got a couple of scores, and I suppose we were probably, in one sense, happy to go in 2 points ahead, but we probably were a small disappointed with, especially our forward play, that we hadn't opened up a small bit more.
Diagonal ball across here, the one that caused problems, and it's going to cause problems again. What a very good save by Brendan Commons. It was there for Henry Shefflin to take, because they've done well. Out as far as Lark Corbett. Lark Corbett's got one already, and Lark Corbett's got a second.
Like, I think we used to always say we're going in at half time that we just say if you're up by 2 points or you're down by 2 points, there's really no difference. You still have a job to do in the second half, and it's very, very important for players not to get uptight about going into dressing half time. Just sit down, talk about what's after happening, and you're looking to drive on for the second half.
Yeah, the intensity levels didn't drop essentially in the game. It was competitive and in the balance right up to the very, very end. Both teams were supremely fit. As the game went on, I suppose substitutions became important as well, and they did play a serious part in it.
Kicked forward by Shane McGrath. In there towards Noel McGrath. They'll be hoping to get more from him or from Kerwick. Here's Kerwick's got a lot of pace. Cleverly playing it inside to Callan. Goal chance!
Oh, save, a brilliant save.
What a save! Over the head of Noel McGrath. Coming to take it here is Lark Corbett. 3 points in the first half. Back in again! That's wide. It was a glorious chance. Owen Kelly.
And saved again, Gerard. But really, Owen Kelly, normally 9 times out of 10, that's in the back of the net. Really, Tipperary are leaving Kilkenny in this game now.
Feeding it in towards Noel McGrath. Could he yet be the star? Oh, that went off the stick of the goalkeeper and it's gone over the bar.
PJ was unbelievable, and he'd be the first man to tell you that he was unbelievable that day too. But look, he was sensational. He saved my bluff that day as well. He was just, I don't know. He was literally like a cat in the goal. There was nothing getting past him.
Even the one Owen slipped, I think that was still the most awkward shot, I would have said, because a goal, you're all tense waiting for the hard shot, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know yourself, like Shamey hit a ball, and I had to watch it on the big screen to find out what happened with it, I was sure it was a goal.
Yeah, and it's definitely, we got a couple of goal opportunities, but PJ, as you say, played very, very well that day, and it just comes down to that they're the big saves and big games that dictated the outcome.
There's no way we would have won the All-Ireland without him doing that, and for him to do that on the biggest day of all was just, I suppose, a great feat for himself, and I suppose he worked very hard to get where he did, and just to see him doing it then on the biggest day of all was just brilliant, and we were delighted for him, and I suppose we were delighted for ourselves as well that he did it.
Catches it really well, it flies through the air into the half forward. That was a wild swipe there, and the referee is going to take action.
The greatest of credit to Tommy Walsh. He's straight back up on his feet. I think a lot of other players would have stayed down, but it's still a red card, John.
It's a red card.
I don't think personally myself that it made much of an impact in the day. That we still got a couple of scores after that. The big decisions were probably just Martin Comfort coming on, getting the ball and getting the goal.
You go down to 14 men, it's probably never an advantage, but on the same token, I suppose sometimes when you see a team going down by one man, to kind of get behind each other and really drives them on till the end of the game. But I suppose the real turning point in that was, I suppose, our 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes.
The sending off actually seemed to spur Tipperary on a bit more. We seemed to take our foot off the gas, and I remember their forwards, they only had 5 forwards, but the work they were doing was unbelievable, and I think Seamus Callan got a score at one stage, and Shane McGrath got one right out the wing as well, and it looked like it was slipping away from us.
Oh, a slip by Conor O'Mahony. Here's an opportunity. Fed inside there, in for power, trying to get away from the attentions of a couple of players, one of them Paul Curran, and it's a penalty.
We probably needed a big score, because at that stage we were clinging by our fingernails, I think, to grasp onto him. So we needed some kind of a big score. And to be fair, Martin broke onto a puck out, I think, and cut through the defence, and they were drawn to him, and he fed Richie, and Richie put the head down, and the whistle went, and we had the penalty.
I'd still be biased and say I think he was fouled outside, but the penalty, and while it was maybe, I suppose some would say, a game changer in it, we had enough chances You know, we'd only ourselves to blame, really. You know, we had enough chances on that day, outside of that penalty, you know, to put Kilkenny away.
I didn't fancy taking anyone. I wouldn't say you did either, Tommy, but no, look, no better man than Henry to come up and hit it.
Henry, of course, being Henry, didn't look to the sideline for any guidance as to what he should do or anything like that, you know, and if he had looked, he wouldn't have got any guidance anyway, because I don't ever suggest what he should do with those penalties, or if it were a 21-yard free, chances are you would have gone for it anyway.
Commons is ready, Shefflin is as well, he's got 8 points so far, they need it, it's in the back of the net, Henry Shefflin cracks in his 22nd ever championship goal.
There's one thing about Martin Comfort: when he comes on, he has an eye for goal and he wants a goal.
Back come the team looking for 4 in a row. Back comes Owen Larkin. 1 point so far. In for Comerford. 2 in a row. The game has turned around.
He was involved in the first goal and scored the second goal, and he was full of running that day. And you know, I suppose Owen Larkin cut through, and I suppose the whole thing just opened up for Gurta, and it was a great pass, but brilliant, ran into space, and it was a brilliant finish under Brendan.
Martin certainly that day was the difference, I think, between the two teams. You know, when he came on, he knew pretty much where to run. He picked the channels between our half-back line, and just like you said, headed straight for the black spot, and we struggled with it.
I suppose we gave the next 12 months then looking at him on the television for the Christmas period with the big fist up in the air and he running out past the 21.
And the substitute Martin Comerford scores in the 64th minute. Tommy Walsh has the ball. Kilkenny have the trophy. It's Kilkenny who are the All-Ireland champions for 2009.
I think losing 2009 final was the weirdest experience I've ever felt. I don't know about you, Larry.
You only get so many chances in any game and you have to take a certain percentage of them chances, and if you don't take them, you're not going to win.
When the final whistle goes, it was just a brilliant feeling, and you know, it's the feeling from January to the final whistle in September. You're dreaming about and you're hoping will take place. So, and you know, you're just so thrilled.
We'd so much put into that final, and we'd lost, but yet everywhere you went, everyone said, like, oh geez, you should have won that one, you know, and that you really did win it. But sure, in reality we hadn't. You know.
They are the first team to do 4 in a row since the 1940s.
You know, we've done the 4 in a row, but obviously we beat Tipperary, which Kilkenny people going back through the years wouldn't have experienced much, especially going back to 91. So it gave the people of Kilkenny an awful lot of satisfaction.
There's no point having excuses, and that's really what we were listening to were excuses, and I suppose we had to kind of battle it for 12 months.
But Brian Cody's team had character. They had key players in key areas. They had leaders all over the field.
It really looked like it was gone from his, I suppose, 10 or 15 minutes to go, but I suppose, as Brian said, you just stay plugging, and to do that in an All-Ireland final and then get the win, that's what I think gave us the most satisfaction.
You want that feeling to last forever, and the fact that we had beaten Tipperary added to that, because they are outstanding opponents and they had a superb team. The sheer sense of delight from everybody was a pleasure to be part of.
The man to captain an All-Ireland winning hurling team, well, that's an achievement.